just a few minutes and then we'll just like we're doing, we'll just keep talking. Coming when we're live on the mic.
Yes, sir.
Just point. Good morning. We're in Tulare, California, and we're at the Veterans Memorial Building. I'd like to thank Darla with Post 56, correct? Darla's in our background here, and Darla has helped arrange this with past Department Commander Keller. And we're sitting with Chaplain Leonard Smith, and anybody that is with AMVETS Department of California, when they saw this, they thought, oh, Chaplain is on AMVETS Live. And it was a quite honor for me. I want to shake your hand.
Thanks, sir.
And thank you for being on AMVETS Live. We do this every third Tuesday. AMVETS Department of California's AMVETS Live. And we go to the post and we go out to our members and we tell their story and what makes up the Department of California members of AMVETS. And Chaplain Smith, I know you're from the DECs, the state conventions. Anything of any note of the Department of California, you're there to guide us in the beginning with prayer and bring us together as the AMVETS family. My name's Lance Cardoza, the host. I'm not a veteran, but I serve our veterans today and be able to tell their stories. So I'm very proud to have you on today.
To be here.
Talk to me about that, leading as the chaplain. And as we talked earlier, veterans are very passionate people. They embrace each other as brothers and sisters, and they'll tell you exactly where to go when you need to hear it. They'll be straight up with you. That's a very important part of everybody's day, even if you're a veteran or not, is leading with a word of faith.
Yes, it is. And one of the things that kind of guides me is that I am a man of faith, and I'm a deacon in my church. Okay, I have served there for quite a few years, and for some reason I don't have a problem dealing with it of doing that, because it's what gets me going and keeps me going. And I like to share that with people that I come in contact with, as I feel that I might have an issue. But I mean, telling them or helping them, it helps me. And it's a two-way street, giving. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to give anything. I don't want to help anybody or whatever. But if I help you, you help me. And that's the way it's been with me. And I've been that way since I was a young fellow, a little fellow. And I enjoy doing it. I enjoy chaplainry. I enjoy helping people. And I wish I could do more, but I can do what I can do. That's it.
And it does bring, like you said, it brings something to you, and I see that.
Yeah.
And it brings more to other people too. A lot of times you don't know. And there's an act of kindness, right? A word of faith, and know that somebody cares.
That's exactly right. And that's one of the things that I take seriously is you don't know where that person is. And all he needs is maybe say hello, good morning, how are you doing, or whatever. Showing that you have compassion and showing that you care. And that keeps that person from going off on the deep end. And God forbid we don't want that. That's one of the things that we fight against. We try to keep from doing.
And that's not just veterans. That's your neighbors.
It's neighbors. Yeah. It's everybody. It's human. It's everybody. And we label it, just for us. But the veterans have been through so much, And some of the scars are internal, they're not out, see them, it's inside. But we can't see those, so we need to know that by contact, by talking with it, by working with, by just saying hello, or good morning, and hi, how are you doing, whatever, showing that you care, makes a world of difference for them.
Absolutely. And Alex, I want to thank Alex behind the camera. Make sure you hit and record there, Alex. We got to capture all this stuff on their Zoom. When you're talking about, you know, caring for one another and being there one another, scars are internal.
Yes.
And a lot of times you don't see those scars. Some of those people take those scars to the grave.
They take them to the grave.
And they don't get to share those scars and talk through that. And one thing we were doing our tour, and that's one for mental health awareness. It's okay not to be okay. It's the biggest message out there. And you can see when someone they come to an event and you can tell something's there. When you tell them that it's okay not to be okay, you see this sense of, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I can get through this. You know, I've got something in common with someone else that has struggled with this. You know, and I think that, like you said, it's not just veterans, it's humankind. Everybody has something going through their day. Well, it's beautiful to have you on the program and be here in Tulare, California. You're post 56. You also served in our Army.
In
the Army, and we'll talk a little bit about that because we want to hear your story of being in the Army, and you've brought joy to many that see you, and we're excited that we saw you in Bakersfield, and it worked out well because here we are at AMVETS Live. Yeah, you were telling me a little bit about your story, and you served in the Korean War.
I served in the Korean War. I went to, well, if you go back to, came into service when I was 18 years old. Took basic training in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. In ice and snow. Was born and raised in ice and snow. And then was shipped out to Korea to ice and snow.
Ice and snow.
Spent a year in Korea.
Very cold.
Very cold.
Worse than cold than you experienced as a young adult?
Yes, yes, very cold. I was in the 24th Infantry Regiment, 25th Division, which was a all African American unit. Everybody in there was African American except the officers.
Was that common? Not knowing, was that common? They would take
At that time,
Americans together in one platoon?
well, at that time, that's the way society was. Okay, we had segregation. Back in those, talk about back in the 50s now.
Yeah.
And President Truman had an order out in 1948 to desegregate all the military. But it did not reach down to the units, other units, all units, until 1951. And so that hit me, 1951. And I went over in a unit that was trained in segregated unit. And I went to war in a segregated unit. During that time, the order came down to desegregate whatever. The president had put this order out to do that, segregate, and our unit was broke up in October of 1951. 51. I was only in February of 51. That's when Joan MacArthur came into Korea. And my unit was inspected by him. He did his inspection and whatever, and then we went into different situations or whatever. I served with Matthew Ridgway under his leadership. the places that I served, fought in, was, places like Cornwall.
Chaplain, you actually brought from the Korean War some of this right here.
Some of the places that I served in, was during the Cornwall, then also in Quezon.
Yeah.
Met the general at Temple Air Base, which was right on here, Temple Air Base. I served with Matthew Ridgway at Hill 1062. We fought that on that belt for 30 days and never did take it. We were outnumbered 20 to 1. And all this area was.
And how old were you at that time?
At that time, I was 20 years old.
20 years
I
old.
was young, so 20 years old.
And your age today?
I'm 93.
93, and you have a birthday coming up right around the corner. I remember.
94 years old.
Well, I don't remember what I did yesterday, and you're talking about 1951. But this is a young adult. This really beds in your memory.
Well, see, I changed it to I'm gonna be 49.
Okay, you're going backwards.
I'm going backwards.
That's what I say.
That's new math.
New math.
But anyway, the Chinese got involved in it, and they were coming from North Korea, and they would come on down into here.
Yeah.
We got to the 38th parallel. I'm like, when we get to the 38th parallel, we would kick back. We go back and take the 38th parallel for there again, and we get kicked back. And it went on and on about 30 days. And this one hill, 1062, I can still see that hill. They had it, the Chinese had dug in a fashion that it was went inward.
Yeah.
In other words, they would go into their tunnels and you shoot rockets at them or artillery at it, it would not go down in the hole. And every night, after bombing them all day long, and at night they'd come back and see them walking across the ridge with torches. It's like their torches. That was the intimidation, let you know, well, hey, you did not get me, you know.
Yeah, we're still here.
And we were still here. And they had a guy that blew the bugle, guy right here. When they would be ready to attack, they would blow a bugle. And that would really work on your mind. You know,
So when you hear a bugle today, does it work on you?
It does
today?
kind of work, kind of look around and see what's coming. But anyway, you know what's going on with you.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was at Cornwall that I ran into a situation. We had Constantine and barbed wire out front.
Yeah.
And we put cans out there and we put shells in the can. So if you move it, it'll rattle, make noise. Well, about 3 o'clock in the morning, one morning, we heard this noise out front. Okay. And so naturally, you know, hey, we just opened up.
Yeah.
You know. And we fired up, you see the traces just bouncing off everything out, whatever. And there was something came towards my position. The weapon that I had was a Browning automatic rifle. It fires 20 rounds, it has 20 round clips in it. Okay. And I fired at this thing. And I emptied 60 rounds in this thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was because I couldn't see it. It was so there.
Yeah.
Okay. And later on in the after firing stopped, we heard a baby cry. And it all through the night until daylight. Daylight, we looked to see what it was. The baby was out there, still crying. The mom and the dad was dead. But how we missed that kid, how we will never know. It was just God intervention that we missed it. Yeah. But we picked it up and put it back to the unit, whatever. And what I had shot was a water buffalo.
Oh.
And
Water buffalo was coming to get you.
yeah, but what happens is they'll send stuff to you. I mean, you'll
they'll release it.
really, and so it draws your fire, basically. And mom and dad had hand grenades, which we call potato mashers, where they were shaped. Yeah. And the way they would use them, they'd put them between their fingers and they would just sling them at you. Well, being Americans, we know that we're compassionate against women and children. So they use that as a weapon towards us. Sometimes we fall for it and get, they get in our line, behind our minds, whatever. But anyway, we kind of got rid of that issue there.
And then still, this
It's
country
still
do that today, because it's America.
Because we know, they know what we are, how we are, and what our makeup is. But in this area, in Korea, it is cold. It was cold. And we had, some guys had Mickey Mouse boots, some didn't.
Yeah.
And you get
Mickey Mouse boots, for those
Mickey Mouse boots.
that are joining us, probably don't know what a Mickey Mouse boot is.
Mickey Mouse boots is almost like a galoshes. It's double insulated. Okay, big and ugly looking.
Like the Mickey Mouse shoes, if you saw Mickey Mouse.
There you go, now you got it. So anyway, they had those on, whatever. But sometimes that did not ward off the cold. It was cold. I lost quite a few.
There are a lot of people that frostbite.
Lost fingers, toes. I've got a finger now it's not frostbitten, but it's got marks on it now where I can't hardly use it sometimes.
Yeah.
That finger there was almost frozen.
Because it was exposed.
It was always exposed.
Yeah.
Okay. But then I had a assistant gunner, and he carried ammo, a lot of ammo for it, whatever. And I don't know what happened to him. We deactivated, the unit deactivated. He went went someplace else. I went to 27th Regiment, Infantry Regiment Wolfhounds. And from there, I went to Tulare to guard the prisoners. Then I rotated home. But I have been trying to find this guy, Charles A. Ray, was from Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa, Charles A. Ray.
Yeah. And he was
Spelled R-A-Y.
R-A-Y. And he was about, I would say he was about 4'6" or something like that. He was a little bitty guy.
I was gonna say, he was a big guy.
He was a little bitty. He was so small that he had to get a woman's size 4 shoe. Okay, for him to wear.
I had a quarter horse jockey uncle, Danny, that passed away recently,
Yeah.
and he would always have to buy from the women's boots.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Because he would take it out and it'd be a pink lining, and he'd go, "Don't laugh."
Yeah, well, that was it. That was a type of guy.
But he had a big impact on you.
He did. He was with me from the time that we went to Korea. We took basic training together, and we were assigned together. He was my partner when I was in Korea, and my assistant. Okay, but
Lost contact.
But we did get deactivated. But they split up the unit,
Yeah.
so we went one place, not with another. And for some reason, writing and communicating or something like that wasn't big at that time.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with people. But I have gone through all kinds of things to search for him, to find it. He might be gone. I don't know. He might got hit over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I thought of it. I always think of it.
This wasn't the only war you served in.
No, I served 2 tours in Vietnam. Aboard the USNS Corpus Christi Bay. That ship was designed to repair all the helicopters in country. What was going on is that there were helicopters in country. That's one of the main things that they used in Vietnam. They sent them back, components back to the States, to Radnac in Corpus Christi, to have everything rebuilt, retooled, whatever.
Yeah.
And then ship
For
it
the
back.
Huey, right?
For the Hueys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to ship it back to Vietnam. Well, that was not cost effective. So what they did is they designed a ship that was a depot maintenance type ship. It had everything on it that you could repair engines, transmissions, rotor blades, instruments, or whatever. It was all on that ship. And so I sailed with it. I had on my hat, I have what's it called, a plank owner. In other words, I was one of the first ones on that ship, the crew on that ship, and went to Vietnam. We stayed in Cam Ranh Bay, on the hook, as they say, out in the water. People come bring their components to it, we fix them and send them back to the beach.
They would fly in and do that with Hueys and fly back out?
They fly, brought the components in to us, we fix them.
Yeah.
And then they come pick them up and take them back out. And then I went and came back to the States, then went back and had another tour in Vietnam. That time I went down to Vung Tau.
Yeah.
And so had 2 tours in Vietnam.
I've always wondered, I'm fascinated with helicopters and I love the Huey.
Yeah.
Because it has a very unique sound, the Chinook.
Yeah.
And the Huey, the pop, 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 pop coming.
Yeah.
What does that do to you today when you hear that?
Well,
Does it take you back?
I look up, yeah, and it takes me back. I look up and get a glimpse of it and see where, in fact, I kind of get the feeling I know what it is,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not really worried about it or whatever, because I always say that when I hear those blades slapping, you know, I said that's our chopper.
Yeah. You're keeping it in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's I didn't worry too much about that, but I enjoyed it anyway.
And I know a lot of our servicemen and women, you know, takes them back to country that
Yeah.
served in Vietnam. And
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of good people, men and women that were stuck out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, fighting it.
Well, I have some issues, you know, which is under control, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like say, for instance, issues or situations that was during a career, brings things back to memory, because to me, at that point, at that time, was mostly the hardest part, being a youngster and being exposed to that at that time. Now, I mean, like say, for instance, cold weather, for example.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of get, I think about that a lot. I don't like to be cold.
Takes you back to that.
It takes me back to that time.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it gets a little cool here, as they say in California,
Yeah.
I think about that, you know, and I said, my God, you know, I said, I remember the time that I was there and remember how cold I got, you know, so cold that, you know, you just want to cry.
Yeah.
You know?
I probably did.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably did.
There was no point in it, wasn't worried. Yeah.
So after Vietnam, then how many years did you serve in the Army?
I served 21 years.
21 years.
21 years.
And it brought you back to the Central Valley, or how did you come to the Central Valley?
Well, I got to the Central Valley through a guy that he took me to the front line in Korea. He was a truck driver. At that time, when you got in country, they moved the troops in what they call, I call them cattle cars, but it's a trailer, and they just stacked them in there. And so he took me to the front line. It's right outside of Seoul, and he dropped us all off. And so I came back from Korea. I was assigned to Camp Roberts, California. Well, he was assigned to Camp Roberts, California. Same company and everything.
Yeah.
And so we got to talking and whatever, you know, and then they have these weekend passes. So mine was I would stay in the barracks and read or do something like that, you know. And he said, well, you can go home with me, you know. And so okay. So I went on with him on the pass, on weekend pass. And I met his sister. And I've been there ever since. That's 71 years I've been there ever since.
71 years.
Yes. So
you never know.
When
God cracks the door open, and you gotta walk through the door.
You gotta walk through the door.
Yeah.
That's just like the guy out in a boat, and he's asking God to help him, you know, and he throws all these things out to help him, and he turns them down. You know, he said, well, you didn't help me. He said, well, like I gave you this and you didn't ask, you didn't want it.
Yeah.
So now there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
And I put you in a boat.
Hey,
Bro. So you met your wife.
I met my wife.
71 years.
71 years and had 4 kids. 2 of them born in France. One born in Fort Leonard, Missouri. One born in San Francisco.
Okay.
And she's
Boys, girls, she,
no, and one girl,
oh, girl.
and she's born in San Francisco. She was born 1954. 2 years after,
Yeah.
2 years after our wedding. Okay.
Okay.
March 19th, 1954 is when we were married.
Yeah.
In 1956, she was born. Same day, but 2 years different.
2 years difference. And this is shortly out of Korea, because it
Yeah.
was 51, right?
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. And so she was a little mama, we call her, because she would take care of the boys,
Yeah.
she'd make them behave over there. But we had
She kept you in line.
she did, she grew up, she was my pet, basically, because like I say, every place I went, she would go with me, stores or whatever. She had very good, attitude about her. In fact, she's married to a minister in Fresno, and she had 3 daughters herself, and one is in Washington D.C. at college. She just graduated from L.A. She went to back east, and then the other one, another one, she's going to New York University,
How many grandkids?
11 grandchildren.
11 grandchildren. Well, that'll keep you young.
Yeah, and 4 grades.
4 great grandchildren.
Excuse me, 6, excuse me.
6.
6 great grandkids. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and you're coming up on a big milestone birthday, and a lot of your AMVETS family is very excited. I guess you missed the surprise party last
I
night.
did. You gotta have another one.
Yeah, that's what happens. Don't ever do a surprise at this age.
Hey,
You got things to do.
I got things to do, in short time, so.
You look fantastic, and a lot of people say that too. I was shocked when I heard your age.
Yeah.
Because you look, I think a lot of it is attitude.
Yeah.
It really is.
I found when I retired from working, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go home and sit down on the couch and just watch TV. I had one week of that. And I was so bored and just, oh my God, just could not handle it.
Yeah.
But I had to get up and do something.
Yeah.
And so I've been involved in different situations like AMVETS, the VFW, and stuff at church, been involved in those type of things, or whatever. I was blowing KT AAA, which was a Kings and Tulare area on aging. Involved in those guys, working with those, just doing stuff, whatever. And then it didn't necessarily bother me or whatever. It was a thing of being able to do something worth, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And it kept me motivated. And I think that one of the things about it is if you keep your mind going, it has to be your mind, you keep your mind going, you can make it. And then the other parts go wear out a little bit, you're gonna have these like an old car or something like that, go wear out. But as long as you keep that mind going, you can work through some of it.
You keep the engine going, you'll.
The rest of it take
Yeah, and like you said it in the beginning, you said it does something for you too.
It does,
And not only when you're going out there, I don't know if you know the impact it does for everybody else too. Like a lot of times you don't know.
Yeah.
And you hear someday that it made such an impact on them.
Yeah.
Especially young people today. They say all the time that a good voice, believing in them and helping them believe in themselves.
Yeah.
It's a powerful, powerful thing.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I found out at this convention, there was a young lady that came up to me and said, do you remember my name, who I am? Oh, I said, well, no, and she told me her name. She said, I worked with you when I was 18 years old. I said, what? She said, yeah, you don't remember me. I said, well, no, really, they don't. But you did. Well, one of the things is this, is that the impact that you leave, you can say a lot of things, but your action speaks louder than your words. And for some reason that resonates with me is that I say things or whatever. It's not what I'm saying. I want to be able to get you to see that I'm a different person than who I am, whatever. And that's uplifting to see that, you know.
That
Is the feel that-
probably, yeah, that somebody came up and you made an impact.
Yeah, I made an impact on somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, and to speak for many of the veterans here with AMVETS, ca.org, or on the website that's watching the stream right now, and also the members of the AMVETS Department of California, the Service Foundation, and everybody in between has nothing but good things to say about Chaplain Smith. And you do bring a brightness to the room. You remind everybody that we're here to love each other, respect each other, honor each other. At the end of the day, you might have some heated discussion about business.
But that's just it.
That's it. It's just business.
Leave it there.
And leave it there.
Leave it there. Yeah.
And you love each other at the end of the day, and you enjoy that community
Yeah.
that you created.
Right.
And it's been a pleasure having you on. I told you it goes by super fast. Is there any last word that you'd like to say to anybody that's watching this later on YouTube and Facebook and AMVETSCA.org and AMVETS Live? We're with Chaplain Leonard Smith, serving in the Army with Post 56 here in Tulare, California. Is there anything that you would say that you want to leave everybody with today?
The only thing I probably would say is that just be yourself. Be true, be true yourself. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yes,
It
sir.
was a pleasure, absolute pleasure, and thank you for everybody to tuning in here at AMVETS, ca.org for AMVETS Live. I'm Lance Cardoza, Chaplain Leonard Smith here from Tulare, California. We'll see you next month, every third Tuesday of the month, right here at AMVETS, ca.org.